Veterans are committing suicide every day, but imagine when that veteran is your friend.
As soon as I heard that he had shot himself in the parking lot, I couldn't believe it. You know, it was totally different than anything that he would have done normally, I think. The only thing I can justify it by is saying that he got beyond the point that he could handle.
Tom Hartley's friend Peter Kaisen committed suicide just outside of the VA hospital in Northport, New York. He was 76 years old, serving as a sailor from 1958 to 1962. But he didn't suffer from PTSD. Instead, Hartley says his friend must have just gotten to the point that he no longer had a reason to live, after living on painkillers from a car accident years earlier.
That was his place of safety, I think, to go. When he didn't feel good physically, he went up to the VA and saw somebody, made an appointment. I think all it would have taken was somebody to say, sit down here and we'll get somebody to help you. That's all it would have taken. And Pete would be here today, you and I wouldn't know each other. I think it was totally preventable.
And he's not the only one expressing this concern. Days after this happened, the New York Times published this report, quoting sources who say that Kaisen was turned away from treatment, something the hospital has denied. But that's not stopping the questions. The FBI is investigating the incident, and now Congress is probing too. They're planning a field hearing concerning the hospital on September 20th on Long Island.
If the surveillance camera shows that during the 12 minutes this veteran was at VA Northport, did not go into the emergency room, did not speak with any of the personnel there at the Northport VA, that's helpful as far as determining the timeline of events for that particular day, that visit. There's obviously a whole lot of other information to continue to aggressively pursue before that day to see what can be found that can potentially back up that story.
Now, some veterans on Long Island aren't surprised by this most recent event. After all, the Northport VA has been haunted by controversy in recent months. The hospital shut down its operating rooms in February when black particles started to fall from the ceiling. And veterans I spoke to say, we weren't even told about this.
I heard that the ORs were closed on the news.
Now, I sat down with officials from Northport VA back in June, and they told me that's not true. They did make it known that their OR was shut down. But in the meantime, one thing is for sure. Veterans are demanding answers, and they want action now.
Maybe you guys can stop this from happening to any other veteran in the future.
We've been talking about the VA since Obama got into office, and it's been back and forth in Congress, and to my knowledge, the problem, the wait lines, the bureaucracy, the red tape for these guys to get the help that they need has gotten worse, not better.